Have you ever felt that flutter in your stomach, that unmistakable sensation when someone you're drawn to is nearby? Most likely, yes. And perhaps at some point, you've asked yourself whether that person feels the same about you. Today, I invite you to open your mind and join me on a deeper journey into the unconscious, guided by the revolutionary insights of Carl Jung. Together, we'll uncover the subtle yet powerful signs that reveal when someone feels far more for you than you might imagine. Jung believed that much of our communication unfolds beneath the surface. It isn't words that betray the truth, but actions, gestures, glances, small behaviors that often slip past our conscious awareness, yet carry profound meaning. And so, let's explore the first sign. It lies in the way this person looks at you. Jung often said that the eyes are the gateway to the soul, a reflection of the unconscious that cannot be fully concealed. Pay attention. Do you notice that when they speak to you, their gaze lingers longer than usual? When someone feels a genuine, deep interest, their eyes seek connection. They hold on to yours, almost searching, as if trying to read the unspoken language hidden there, as if your eyes contain the secret they long to discover. Knowing you goes beyond words. Pay close attention to their eyes, not just the way they hold your gaze, but how their pupils react when you're around. Pupil dilation is an automatic, unconscious response to attraction. It cannot be faked or controlled, and when it happens, it's a silent yet undeniable sign of genuine interest. The second sign is even more subtle, yet just as powerful. Jung believed our unconscious is always drawn toward what fascinates us, what we long for, or what we secretly identify with. So, ask yourself, does this person always seem to find reasons to be near you? Do they casually appear in the same places you frequent, or come up with small, almost unnecessary questions just to spark a conversation? Perhaps they let their hand brush lightly against your arm or shoulder as they speak. These gestures are never random. As Jung revealed, such actions are the language of the unconscious, a quiet attempt to close the physical gap and create a deeper emotional bond. A person who feels something real for you will always seek closeness, whether through presence, touch, or attention. The third sign appears in how they respond to your emotions. Someone who truly cares will notice even the smallest shift in your mood. A shadow crossing your expression, a pause in your voice. These subtle cues won't escape them because their unconscious is tuned into you, searching for connection at every level. Carl Jung explained that, on an unconscious level, people develop a deep sense of empathy toward those they truly care about. This means that person may quickly sense whether you're sad, joyful, or uneasy, and will show genuine interest in understanding your feelings and offering support. Think back to a time when you had a difficult day. Did this person make a sincere effort to lift your spirits, to comfort you in a way that felt natural and heartfelt? If so, you're witnessing a powerful sign. Their interest reaches far beyond the surface, touching deeper emotional layers within you. The fourth sign is something Jung described as synchronicity, the mysterious phenomenon where two seemingly unrelated events are connected in a way that feels meaningful, almost destined. Reflect for a moment on your encounters with this person. Do you notice frequent coincidences in tastes, thoughts, or interests, as if you were mirrors of one another? Perhaps they often laugh and say, "What a coincidence," or seem genuinely surprised at how much you have in common. In truth, what you're experiencing is not mere chance, but the presence of a strong unconscious bond that pulls you closer together. It is the unconscious weaving invisible threads, drawing together two souls that share a profound affinity. The fifth sign lies in body language. Jung believed that our bodies often reveal what the unconscious longs to express, even when our conscious mind tries to conceal it. Notice how this person positions themselves around you. Do they adopt open postures, arms and legs uncrossed, their torso facing you, perhaps leaning ever so slightly in your direction? These gestures speak volumes, quietly showing that, on a deeper level, they are open to you and eager to connect. And here is something even more telling. Have you observed whether they unconsciously mirror your gestures or movements? This phenomenon, known as unconscious mirroring, is one of the strongest signs of empathy and connection. When someone is truly interested, their body instinctively aligns with yours, creating an invisible yet undeniable harmony between you. So far, we've uncovered several unmistakable signals that reveal far more than you might have imagined. Yet there are still more, equally powerful insights that Carl Jung identified. And these next signs may surprise you even more. Pay close attention, because what comes next could transform the way you understand relationships, and the way you interpret the subtle signals from that special person in your life. This is where a more intriguing dimension of the collective unconscious, so deeply explored by Jung, begins to reveal itself. A unique connection emerges when someone listens to you with true presence, a silence heavy with meaning. They aren't simply waiting for their turn to speak, they seem to absorb every word you say. This kind of listening, effortless yet profound, signals an inner openness, a genuine interest that springs not from obligation, but from a desire to know you at your very core. Jung taught that when a person embodies a powerful archetype in our lives, such as the anima or animus, the soul responds with a deep inner recognition that transcends logic. Suddenly, this person may feel strangely familiar, as if you have known them long before, even though you've only just begun to connect. If time seems to shift when you're with them, flowing differently, or if their presence lingers within you long after they've gone, do not dismiss it. It isn't mere romantic fantasy. It is your unconscious resonating at the deepest level. Another powerful sign reveals itself in moments of vulnerability. Pay attention. Does this person feel safe enough to share their doubts, fears, or old wounds with you? That willingness to open the most delicate parts of themselves is never casual. It is the unconscious reaching out, seeking trust, intimacy, and a kind of bond that is rare and profoundly real. Jung taught that the soul opens only to what it perceives as safe, as something it can recognize, as an extension of itself. When someone begins to reveal their true self to you, without masks, without pretenses, even confessing things they have never shared with anyone else, you are witnessing one of the clearest manifestations of deep trust and genuine emotional interest. And there is something else, equally vital: how this person responds when you share your achievements, your ideas, or your dreams. Jung described individuation as the process of becoming whole. If this person supports your growth, celebrates your victories as if they were their own, and encourages you to move toward your highest potential, that is not mere sympathy. It is an emotional bond born from the unconscious, where your very essence is held as something sacred. Yet, one of the most revealing signs may appear in a way that seems contradictory: discomfort. Sometimes when someone feels something profound, they don't quite know how to manage it. They may grow nervous in your presence, avoid eye contact at crucial moments, or appear oddly distracted. Jung explained that what is repressed in the unconscious often emerges ambivalently, both attraction and hesitation intertwined. This tension is not a lack of interest, but, paradoxically, a sign of how deeply you affect them. So if you notice contradictions in their behavior, if one day they seem very close, and the next a little distant, it may not be disinterest at all, but an inner struggle unfolding within them. The unconscious is powerful, and its energy often escapes through subtle, unpredictable ways. Sometimes, without realizing it, our dreams begin to fill with the image of that person. Jung saw dreams as open windows to the soul. When someone appears again and again in your dreams, especially when those encounters feel vivid, emotional, or strangely significant, it signals that this person occupies a profound psychic place in your inner world. Your unconscious is speaking, even if your mind has not yet caught up. And beyond the psychological, Jung also pointed to the spiritual dimension of connection. When one soul is touched by another, the body itself responds. You may notice your heart beating differently, a heightened sense of vitality when they are near, or even an unexpected calm that settles over you at the sound of their voice. These subtle psychosomatic shifts are not random. They are the body's quiet testimony to a deep emotional and spiritual affinity. It is not fantasy, nor mere self-suggestion. It is a symphony between your unconscious and theirs, striking notes that words cannot always explain. True interest does not always arrive in the form of grand declarations or obvious romantic gestures. Sometimes it hides in the smallest of moments, a lingering pause before saying goodbye, a spontaneous question about your personal tastes, or a smile that lights their face for no apparent reason the instant they see you. Each of these subtle actions may be orchestrated by the depths of the unconscious, where the most authentic and enduring bonds are formed. And yet, there are still more signs, signals that Carl Jung helped us learn to recognize, signs that most people overlook because they live right at the edge of the invisible. So let us go deeper into that hidden universe. What comes next may open your eyes in ways you never expected. There are moments when the mind falls silent, yet the body continues to speak. Jung believed that the unconscious expresses itself through symbols, and those symbols often take the form of small, involuntary gestures. Watch closely. Does this person touch their neck, adjust their clothing, run a hand through their hair, or fidget with some object when they're around you? These behaviors, far from random, are the body's quiet confessions, revealing the tension between what is felt and what cannot yet be spoken. These are movements born from the need to contain an emotion that refuses to stay hidden. Even language itself, when it stumbles or comes out clumsily, can be a revealing clue. Notice if this person sometimes says things out of place, contradicts themselves, or laughs at unexpected moments. This isn't ordinary nervousness. It is the unconscious building a defense, trying to guard what it feels without laying it bare. Jung taught that it is in the conflict between the conscious and the unconscious that the most genuine emotions emerge. If you notice that struggle in the way they speak to you, it is likely that what they feel runs deeper than they are ready or able to express. There is another sign, often overlooked, the act of remembering. If this person recalls details you've long forgotten, something you said in passing, your favorite food, a place you only mentioned once, do not dismiss it. Remembering is an act of the soul. When we care, when someone truly matters to us, our unconscious sharpens its focus, gathering fragments from the other as if they were treasures. That selective memory reveals more than words ever could. And then comes a sign you cannot see, but you can feel: anticipation. Have you noticed that they seem to sense what you need before you say it? They offer a coat before you feel the cold, ask if you've eaten before hunger even reaches your lips. This quiet attunement is not chance. It is the unconscious aligning itself with you, moving ahead of words to meet your needs. Sometimes you might notice that this person seems to know what you're about to say or what you're thinking. It's not telepathy, it's an unconscious connection. Jung spoke of subtle energy fields. How our emotions can extend beyond our physical bodies and touch others without direct contact. If someone anticipates your feelings, it's because they are sensing you on a level that goes beyond the visible. At times, the unconscious reveals itself in unexpected ways. In the music they listen to, the books they pick up, or the quotes they share without knowing why. They begin to resonate with your interests, your ideas, your symbols, and this is no coincidence. Jung called this psychic transference, a process in which two inner worlds begin to influence one another. If you notice your preferences subtly appearing in that person without you ever mentioning them, it is a sign that a deep fusion is taking place. Observe too how they respond when someone else shows interest in you. They may not speak openly, but their body reacts, tensing, their tone shifting, gaze averting, or silence falling between words. That silence speaks volumes. Jung would say it is here that the shadow makes its presence known, revealing what lies hidden in the depths of the unconscious. The shadow, Jung taught, is the part of ourselves we do not control, yet it reveals what we truly feel. If you notice restrained jealousy, subtle discomfort, or a quiet urge to claim their place beside you, without aggression, what you are witnessing is the unconscious exposing a desire for an exclusive bond. Another subtle yet powerful sign appears in silence. Not the silence that feels heavy or awkward, but the silence that feels alive. When someone can sit with you without needing to fill the air with words, it is not emptiness, it is presence. Jung believed that the soul finds rest with those before whom it does not need to explain itself. If peace surrounds you, even when no words are spoken, then that presence is speaking louder than any conversation ever could. And if, in the midst of all this, they begin to share their wounds, their mistakes, or their broken parts, pay close attention. That is not something offered to just anyone. Jung taught that we reveal our shadow only to those we unconsciously perceive as symbols of transformation. If someone entrusts you with their most fragile truths, it is because deep within, they feel you are a safe space for their vulnerability. Do not take it lightly. It is one of the clearest signs of genuine emotional depth. There is more, much more. The unconscious is an ocean, teeming with symbols, hidden gestures, and invisible pulses. What comes next will take you even deeper. When someone desires you with their soul, their most authentic language is not spoken with words. It is revealed in every act they cannot consciously control. Sometimes this connection emerges in the most unexpected moments, even when you are absent. Jung explained that the unconscious often values most keenly what is no longer in sight. When someone feels your absence more deeply than they can express, their behavior subtly changes. They may grow restless, introspective, or distant with others. And the moment you return, their spark reignites, their lightness returns. As if your presence restores a missing part of themselves, this emotional shift is not mere nostalgia. It is the unconscious recognizing a bond that is invisible yet profoundly real. At times, this person may even become your emotional echo. They do more than remember what you said. They begin to mirror your expressions, your phrases, even your tone, without realizing it. It is the unconscious resonating with yours, a silent dialogue that speaks louder than any spoken word. This subtle mirroring is one of the most powerful signs of unconscious resonance. Jung described it as a process of symbolic identification, where the other begins to integrate aspects of you into their own inner world, without even realizing it. It is a way of keeping you close, of remaining connected even when you are not physically present. There is an even deeper manifestation, the creative impulse. When someone is emotionally stirred by your presence, they often begin to create. They may write, paint, compose music, or simply become more expressive without a clear reason. Jung saw creativity as a valve of the unconscious, a channel for emotions and energies that cannot be explained logically. If you notice that this person has become more artistically expressive since you entered their life, it is because you are activating inner zones that had long lain dormant. There are also moments of pause, not indifference, but quiet observation. Some people, when they feel something profound, pull back slightly, not to disconnect, but to process what is stirring within them. Jung explained that when the unconscious encounters someone who embodies an archetypal or transformative presence, it does not always respond with immediate excitement. Often it responds first with a kind of internal stillness, a reflective pause as it aligns itself with the depth of feeling emerging inside. If you notice this person watching you quietly, as if trying to decipher something unseen, it is because their soul is attempting to give form to what it feels. And when the connection is truly authentic, even the physical world around you begins to shift. Jung spoke of how symbols manifest in our surroundings. If this person invites you to meaningful places, shares their home, their favorite spots, or their most private corners, it is not merely a social gesture. It is an unconscious act of opening their world to you, a demonstration of emotional integrity. Whoever shares their personal spaces is also sharing their story. Another sign often goes unrecognized: the emotional tension before seeing you. If you observe that this person becomes nervous, prepares carefully, or even hesitates to meet you without any logical reason, do not mistake it for disinterest. Jung taught that the soul trembles before what it truly desires. Unconscious love often arrives first as fear, a subtle urge to retreat before surrendering to vulnerability. If someone seems to wrestle with an inner battle before seeing you, it is because you represent something greater than anything they have encountered before. And when you finally part ways, pay attention to their body language at goodbye. It is unlike any ordinary farewell. Watch for movements that resist leaving, a hesitant step, a lingering glance, an extra word tossed in to stretch the moment just a little longer. All of this is the soul speaking, expressing its reluctance to let go. Jung said the soul seeks permanence wherever it feels at home. When the body hesitates to leave, it is because the unconscious has found refuge in your presence. And we have yet to explore the most mysterious form of all, those uncanny coincidences that feel far too precise to be mere chance. You think of them, and a message arrives at that exact moment. You dream of them, only to see them the next day. Something they once said appears again elsewhere, as if the universe itself were conspiring to keep you connected. Jung called these synchronicities signs not of randomness but of a hidden order, an invisible web linking two souls more closely than either realizes. And this is not the end. The unconscious reveals its truth gradually, fragment by fragment, in symbols, in subtle gestures, in signs so delicate they are almost imperceptible. But if you know how to see, and more importantly, how to listen with your soul, you will discover that there is far more beneath the surface than simple attraction. What comes next might be exactly what you need to understand what their heart has been silently trying to say. Sometimes the most obvious truths are not found in words, but in what is held back, in the glance that drops when it meets yours, in the message they almost send but delete, in the confession that hovers on their lips but never emerges. Jung said, the unconscious does not always express itself clearly, for its language is symbolic, tangled, yet profoundly honest. If you have noticed these signs, if you sense that there is something deeper than mere passing interest, you are not imagining it. You are receiving a silent message, transmitted directly from the soul. Perhaps they have not spoken it aloud yet, perhaps they have not found the words, or perhaps they have not allowed themselves to admit it. Yet you feel it, because something shifts when they are near. Their energy changes. Time bends. Their silences communicate far more than any words ever could. Because you don't need them to tell you, you already know. And if someone kept coming to mind as you listen to this, it is likely for a reason. The invisible is far more real than you think. Now I invite you to be part of this conversation that goes beyond words. If this message touched something within you, if you recognized yourself in it, or if you know someone experiencing the same, share this video. You might be giving someone the answers they didn't even know how to ask for. Leave your experience in the comments. I want to hear from you. Tell me if you've noticed any of these signs, or if your intuition has revealed something the other person has yet to say. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to awaken. And if you want to continue exploring the secret language of the soul, the hidden truths of the unconscious and everything Carl Jung left as a legacy, subscribe and hit the bell icon. We're building a community of awakened souls, people who refuse to settle for the superficial and seek to understand what lies in gestures, in dreams, and in the subtle signs that can transform lives. What you are feeling is not a coincidence. It is a calling.